Hey everyone, welcome back to Desert Gardening with Dustin. And I am going to show you something today. I know not long ago we did a video of some of the melons and squash, and this is going to be kind of a follow-up video to that. And anyhow, so I thought I would show you something before I deeply water this stuff. You can probably see some of the leaves are kind of droopy. That's usually a good sign that it needs some more, your plants need some more water. Anyhow, but before I made a kind of a muddy mess here, I thought I would show a few things. And anyhow, I know we talked the other day about the Tigger melons, and this is a ripe Tigger melon right here. So it is getting kind of orange, and that's pretty much, they get orange to a kind of a mottled dark red and orange, and that's probably ripe. I probably should pull that one off. My other ones aren't ripe yet, and like I told you before, all of this stuff is volunteer because I've been working a lot of compost in and getting ready for fall planting and that kind of stuff, and sometimes working your soil around and working more nutrients and stuff into your soil. You can get some seeds that sprout and germinate, and that's what happened here. So obviously I know that that is Tigger melon, but the other ones here, the squash, I don't know for sure if this is going to be some of my spaghetti squash. I'm hoping it is, and it may take a little while to get enough blooms and start to set fruit for us to determine that. But what do I got? Oh, I got another. Looks like I got another Tigger melon. I keep finding more Tigger melons. That's the bonus I think about whenever I've grown Tigger melons. I always have more and more of them pop up. You look in the garden and you may think you count 3 or 4, and the next time you're out you see another one you didn't see. And like the last video, we had seen one that I didn't see at first. Now this is another one I didn't see. So I think there's about 5 or 6 or 7 Tigger melons, and they only get about the size of a softball, so they're not huge, but it's still kind of nice to find some additional melons. Actually, there's another one under here. So 2 more out here, and I don't know, I'll have to look and see. Yeah, this happens to me all the time when it comes to Tigger melons, because they're small enough they can hide underneath some of the bigger leaves and not be real conspicuous until they start to get a little bit more size. But one of the main things I wanted to show you is over here. So on this watermelon that came up, you'll probably notice there's ants running around, and sometimes with as many ants as there are, it can be a key indicator that you probably should look underneath the leaves. And when you look underneath the leaves here, you will see there are quite a few aphids on just about any of the leaves. Now that one has a lot of aphids on it. Ants do like to farm aphids. And what I mean by that is the ants will protect the aphids, and what they generally are going to do is collect the little, what's called honeydew, that the kind of a sweet substance that the aphids produce. So they suck the sap out of the leaves of your plants, so the aphids are bad. And the ants like to farm them, move them around, help them multiply, and they collect that honeydew substance, that kind of a sticky substance that the aphids produce. So anyhow, this is a volunteer watermelon. I don't know if it's one that might be sterile. I don't have any female blooms yet on it, so if if I don't get any female blooms in a while, we may determine that it might be one that came up from composting store-bought watermelon. And I do compost plenty of store-bought watermelon rinds and stuff, and some of those will get a seed in them now and then, and they may come up, but I haven't grown my heirloom watermelons here for at least probably 2 or 3 years, so there's a good chance that this watermelon is going to be sterile and came up from seed on a not very on like a grocery store bought watermelon. But anyhow, I'm just looking and I'm not seeing any female blooms. I'm just kind of looking here and I don't see any. But it's always one of those things, though, too. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. A lot of times what will happen is you'll have the male blooms. They always appear before the females. And a lot of times it can be a good couple of weeks that you've got male blooms and you don't see any female blooms. And then all of a sudden the female blooms start coming. So that's not necessarily an indicator right now. I'm just thinking in my mind what might be going on here, and the fact that I haven't planted watermelon for a while. I think it came up from compost, in which case it very well could be not going to produce me any watermelon. And if that's the case, if I determine that in a while, I will probably just till all of this back under and hopefully get rid of the aphids too, and just compost it all back. But I'll do that probably after I harvest some more Tigger melons, once these green ones are turning the orange and red. So anyhow, I haven't really hopped up over here to look back in these vines. I don't see any more melons back there. I do have a little A-frame bamboo poles here because last year I did grow some peas here, and so I needed some extra support. But that was one of the main things I wanted to show you, was just the aphids and how the ants can be an indicator of that. And normally, I mean, if you catch it early, you can definitely just cut some of the leaves off. If you look down here, there are no aphids on any of these leaves here. Now I got a few ants coming here, so it looks like they're already farming some aphids. I mean, they will spread. If you can catch them early, it's good to pull a few leaves off. Aphids can also be blasted off of the leaves by a good spray from the hose too. So that might be what I may do. Sometimes you can keep them under control by just keeping them blasted. Now, obviously, you got to try to pick up the leaves and blast the underside of the leaves and blast them off of there. But the ants will keep trying to help their aphid friends too. So anyhow, I guess that's probably what I'm going to share at the moment. And if you have any other thoughts, or if you've dealt with this too, you can leave your thoughts in the comments.